We are so excited to bring another podcast to you of the She Means Business Masters Society. But first, I want to invite you to apply for our campaign 2025, the She Means Business Campaign 2025. It's in full blown and we want you to be part of it. So if you're a woman entrepreneur in Las Vegas that has a beautiful story to tell, please make sure that you go to the link in bio and apply because we are closing those in May. So make sure you do that right away. Welcome to the She Means Business Master Society podcast, where we empower entrepreneurs to thrive in their journey. In each episode, we dive deep into the world of entrepreneurship. We've faced our fair share of challenges, and that's why we've created this space. Here, we will connect with incredible guests, key figures in their fields who have navigated the ups and downs of their entrepreneurial careers. Together, we will share our experiences, insights, and tools that can help you elevate your business to new heights. So, get ready to be inspired, motivated, and equipped with the knowledge you need to succeed. Let's jump into today's episode. Comenzamos. Hello everyone, my name is Jaqueline Andrea. I am a photographer and a personal brand developer, and today my guest is extra special because she came all the way from Seattle just to be with me. Jaimie Birtel! Did I say it right?
I think so.
Okay, hold on. Let's redo that part. Jaimie Birtel. Yes. Welcome, my friend. How are you?
I'm excited to be on this podcast.
Hey,
I've been watching you long enough grow it, so it's like exciting to actually see full circle and be a part of it now.
And well, she didn't actually flew all the way from Seattle to be with me, but she did for she didn't want to recognize it. But she is here for the WPPI convention, and I am just so happy to see you here because we haven't seen each other in how long? A year? Probably a little bit over a year.
Yeah. I think it was January last year we saw each other.
Yes. And well, we're going to know more about this amazing woman, beautiful photographer. She does maternity. She does babies, newborns. She does headshots. She does pets. She's an amazing artist. So we're going to get to know her a little bit better in this podcast. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, I'm excited.
All right. Well, tell us about your story. How you started.
I got started, I think, like a lot of the mom togs out there, like where people will make fun of it, but it's a good story where I wanted nicer pictures of my kids. And I bought my husband a really nice camera and he never used it. So I got mad at him and I took it over and he got me, of all things, a Groupon to learn how to use the camera.
Groupon?
I didn't know how to use the DSLR.
So it was like a photography course.
Yeah, it was
like
a photography
basic
course
story.
just to teach you like how to use your camera. And it was literally like, this is what this button does. And like, this is what this setting does. So I learned that, and that was right before COVID. And then we went into lockdown and I just took pictures of my kids and anything I wanted to. So I just kept learning with it. And then I had my third kid in 2021, and I really didn't want to go back to corporate life. I had no desire to go back to it. I didn't know mentally how to do it anymore. And my husband just said, have you ever sat back and asked yourself like what you really want to do? And I immediately blurted out newborn photography. And he's like, okay, I didn't expect that, but do you know how to? I'm like, no, I'll figure it out.
I love this. I love this. So definitely that's how a lot of us photographers start. That's actually my start too. Like I have 2 kids, no good pictures of them, and same thing. So it's very recent that you have been in photography then.
I created in 2021 and just dove full-heartedly in, and without the support of the women, I call the mom mafia, the local mom mafia, because they kept pushing me and asking me to do the pictures and referring me to other people. And it just spiraled and just blew up from there. And I just kept going with it and doing education. If I didn't know how to do it, I would figure out how to do it. And I was just determined to learn. And I don't know if you do as a photographer, I see the picture in my head before it actually happens. And I can like reverse engineer how to do it. And I will get upset until I know how to get the picture to look like I want it to look like in my head. So that's where it went.
That is amazing. I love this because I feel that I know Jaimie, but there is, every time I talk to her, there's something that I learn of her, and I love it. I love the fact that she just started pretty much, and now she's thriving. I mean, we're going to talk about how to get to that point, but so you have your photography studio in your house. She's a mom of 3 beautiful children, and she has no, how you call that? She doesn't stop just because she's a mom, okay? She has 3 little beautiful inspirations, and what we have, we are a group of photographers that we talk, we cry, we just talk about everything and anything, but mostly what photography is. And sometimes I know that being a mom has been also a challenge for you.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
I think it's an ongoing thing for any professional, and being a mom, and always that juxtaposition of being in 2 places at once, or having like your heart in 2 places at once, and trying to balance. Well, there's no such thing as balance. That's a lie. There's no such thing. You just pick and choose which. Someone told me once that expression of you pick which balls are okay with dropping, like what you're juggling, and which is glass and can't be dropped ever, and then which is like rubber, it's okay if it has to bounce, or you can just put it to the side. And so it's always kind of learning how that goes together and doing that. And then also the kids, like my hours are when my kids are in school, period. That's my boundary, and maintaining that. And then also I do have to give a shout out. I have an incredible partner, and I know we joke about it, like where we have a group of women where our husbands are incredible support systems.
Absolutely.
And I'm so grateful for that, where my husband just kind of, I have an idea. He's like, okay, let's do it. And he lets me do it and supports it. He's my biggest cheerleader and advocate. So like, that's kind of how we juggle the things. But it was, this shift in career actually is what's given me more time and happiness. And I think knowing what I really love for my kids, and my kids are seeing me happy. My kids are seeing me successful. My kids love looking at the pictures, especially the baby pictures, even if it's no one related to them whatsoever. They want to see what I do.
Yeah.
So I think that's more rewarding, is that my kids see me being successful and independent and still strong, and doing that piece of it.
Even if there's moments where you're like, I'm done, but you keep pushing and you keep thriving, especially when we get her messages about somebody's sick in the house.
I'm always sick.
Because they're little. So, but this is the good news. You're not going to find a perfect balance. There is no such thing as a balanced work mom life. There is none. I've been through it, and I am a testament that things don't work like that. But today we're going to talk about how to price photography. Not how to price photography. We're going to name it differently. It's more how to know your worth as a photographer.
Yes.
Because some people think that all we have to do is literally just press a button, right? And boom, beautiful photos. And they're like, but it's just only one photo I need. Well, for that, we need planning. For that, we need this and that and that. It's a process. It's not only really taking a photo, right?
Yeah.
So you were talking about so many things behind the camera. I'm like, hold on, let me turn on the mics, because that was very important. But I want you to share all that, your insights.
Well, I think one of the things that we started, where we were talking about where it was just one photo. And I think that also started back when photography first started, like kind of taking back, where there was an artistry to it, and there was all the equipment and dark rooms and all of that expense that went with it. So photography was very, very expensive, and people would save and they would cherish it. And like, we're talking like tin type, like when very early days of photography.
Yeah.
You had to save for it. And if you were lucky, you would maybe have a portrait done once, maybe twice in your lifetime. It didn't happen. And so people really cherished it. And like, you love those keepsakes, like all of those things. Technology changed. We have digital cameras now, and everyone becomes a photographer. And I'm not going to ever knock mom togs, because like we said, that's how we started. But at some point you learn the priorities with your business. And I think that's true of any business, of what your time is worth, what you value, what you're going to prioritize. If I'm going to give up an evening with my kids, it's going to be worth a certain price point. Otherwise, I'm going to burn out. I'm going to be resentful, and I'm not going to be happy. And so what are you doing? Like, the whole point of this artistry career that we do is we bring joy. Like, we bring joy to ourselves, like to other people. Mm-hmm. And you got to prioritize that. And it's going to take time. It's going to take money. It takes planning. And we will acknowledge, we met through a business coaching group. And I think that was a really nice thing, where we all kind of come in where we were hitting a point of burnout, where we were frustrated and we didn't know how to break that next level of what we wanted to create of a client experience, as well as people appreciating our artistry and what we do for people, and able to grow that. And I think that was where it was like a really big shift in my business, and also my quote unquote balance of life, mm-hmm. of making that shift and really being confident to charge what I'm worth, and then knowing those things and like what that means to actually run a profitable photography business.
Yes, because So, breaking news, photographers that are charging very, very low prices, you are not doing them a favor by hiring them. You're actually not paying them their worth that they don't know just yet they have. So, the other day, somebody made a comment and she said, so if you make $300, $500 per photo shoot, you get to keep everything, right? Because it's literally just you and your camera.
I mean, I started out that way. I think we all do because we're just
We all do, yeah.
that. But then you really get to understanding like editing, like what our equipment costs, all of these things. Software. Yes. I'm even just looking at the setup we have in here for lighting. I would like to get that beautiful skin because our skin looks great right now. But this is a lot of work to do this, and it's also a lot of knowledge and education to get to understand what this is going to work. So, yeah, you essentially, if you're not charging enough, you're paying the client to do the job. And that's not fair. I think somebody's done the math. And if you are charging at a certain price point or lower, you're actually making less than a McDonald's worker. And I'm not knocking McDonald's workers. They work hard. But is that worth your time? Like, Is that what you want to be doing? And like breaking your back to do all this stuff or like missing out on things? Like it's just, it doesn't math.
Especially whenever you have family, as you said, right? It definitely has to be worth it. So yes, we met through a photographers group where we all had to make a jump between being just another photographer or being somebody that actually is at service, right? That we are really given everything we have inside of us, right? Yeah. A luxury experience, high quality photography, but the whole thing in one package, right? Our knowledge, our time, and everything combined in one package price. What has been the most challenging part of that, your change on your pricing and really understanding your cost of doing business?
Oh, like the hardest part of it,
yes.
I think it was the self mentality actually. And the confidence that I was going to do that. Because I think we all have that. I said it earlier, was that we have a throw up moment where we realize what we actually have to charge to afford anything of like what we want to be. And yeah, you kind of go through that moment and then being confident enough to say it to a client. And then the weight of like, are they going to book me? Are they not? Like, is this insane? Like, I've just ruined my business. And they say yes. You're like, oh, really? Okay, cool. We're going to do it. That was the hardest challenge, was actually my own mental blocks and working through that and coming to the conclusion of like, yes, I am worthy. I do deserve this. And I know what I provide. And I know the service and the experience that I give to my clients. And I know the emotions that I pour into the clients and the emotions that I pull out of the clients. So it really came full circle. And I think the best part has been the level of experience and interactions that I have with the clients now. Because people, when you have respect for each other, it's just a different dynamic, and it's so amazing. And particularly with what I do, like you said, I specialize in maternity, newborn a lot of the time. So it's very vulnerable points of life for people that I'm being led into. So I don't take that for granted. Or if you're doing headshots, like Jaimie's business, where we're coaching people to come out of their shell, like the posing, but building them up and being their hype person is so important. And that takes a lot of like emotional, physical toll on us as well, like mental toll, like when we're doing it. But
and it comes with a value, right?
Yes. But it's so cool, isn't it? That moment where like you show them back of camera or on a screen, like their picture, and like they light up, or they like, you see it in their eyes. Is that me? Yeah. But you see it in their eyes, like when they've come out of their shell, finally, like when something clicked in their brain in the shoot, and suddenly you're like, well, hello, Sasha Fierce. Like, I'm so glad you came to the table.
I love it. But it's so true what you said. It's like so many combinations. But yeah, so your challenge was definitely mostly personal, right? And I think for all of us, it was personal because we didn't know we were that worthy.
Yes.
Right? But so if somebody wants to change that mentality, what do you think will be the first step? Or that you took the first step? Which one was it?
I think first step is a brutally honest cost of doing business. I think photographers, you'll hear the term a ton, the CODB, and really being honest in that, but more so saying, I want to make this much. And don't be afraid to say, like, this is my dream salary. This is what I want to make. And for me, I had to make more than I was making in corporate, or at least equal to that, what I would have had at corporate salary. Because otherwise it didn't make sense for me, at least in my mind, to change. Because I had a great career trajectory and I was happy doing that stuff. But knowing your true ins and outs of what it's going to cost to be the business that you want to be. And that also, I think, including education for us to continue to grow. You know, if you want to buy a new camera at some point, or you want to offer a certain level of experience for things, like that all costs and adds up very quickly. And when you're sitting there looking at an annual expense report, you're like, oh, you're like,
ooh, those
okay.
are, yes.
Yeah. And taxes, running a legal business. And then when you start taking all this stuff out and you really look at it like, I have to make this for it to be worth my time. For me, what my dollar amount is to get me off my couch and away from my kids needs to be this.
Yes.
And that's the first step always.
And I think it goes for any type of business, not only for photographers. I think we are basing this in photographers because we are photographers, but at the same time, this goes for any type of business. Once you have a clarity on how the backbone, or not the backbone, the back of your business, the behind the scenes of your business works, and how much it costs to run it, it's definitely a different idea what you get, right? So more clarity, as you said. So that's beautiful to have clarity. Is definitely a whoa moment. It was for me whenever I sat down and I did that, even though I was doing it, but I don't think I was doing it as thorough as we learn how to do it. Yes. And it's definitely a great step and a great advice for people that are planning on opening either a business or a photography business.
Yeah. So learning that end of it, but I think too the fear to dream, like letting yourself dream. You're like, okay, if I'm going to do this, like dream big. Like why can't I? And I think that is the biggest piece. Then next is like, okay, if these people are doing it, why can't it be me? Like I can do that. Like I take a pretty picture. Why can't I charge that? And just kind of going for it and like diving in and saying like, okay, if we know what we have to do to earn this, let's start charging it. And you're going to hear no. Yes. So many no's. But it weeds it out, and then you get the right yeses and the right ones that are supposed to happen for you and the people. And I am one of those firm believers of you can manifest something, but you also have to have the steps with it and pursue it. Like the universe isn't just going to hand things to you. I mean, you might get lucky and you have like your dream client drop in your lap.
That'll be nice.
Yeah, it happens. It happens. But you have to be proactive in it, because I've never been that person that you just sit back and saying, oh, woe is me. Like this never happens for me. Like go do something about it. You want to be happy? You want to do something else? Do something about it.
What are you going to do about it to make it happen?
Yeah. Like it's just not going to be thrown at you. Like you have to be proactive in it and have the grit to keep going. Because those no's are hard. It's like they do hurt sometimes.
Yes.
Or people saying, well, I can go to so-and-so for this price. I was like, okay, great. It sounds like you have your person to work with. I'm happy for you. I'll be here in the future.
But I'm sure that was painful. It was painful for me whenever I started hearing that. It's like, oh, you're too expensive at the beginning of my career when I was not even charging that much.
Oh, yeah.
And I was still expensive, and it would hurt my little entrepreneur's heart, you know? So definitely the no's had to happen in order to get to the yeses. But at the same time, it has to be worth it, right? Yeah. I mean, definitely every no is an experience. I started seeing them as practice. That's how I call it. But it's like, it's practice, okay? Practice your pitch. That's how we're doing it. And but it's a very nice point. So what is your biggest dream? What is your biggest goal right now?
Oh, my biggest goal. Honestly, I have my financial goal and what I want and my goals that I have with that. But I think the bigger one for me, at least locally, is I want a positive reputation. I want people to always walk away from working with me in a better state than when they came in. And that's kind of where I really strive with this business and keep doing that. Because I've always wanted to help people. I always like connecting with people. Like you were laughing at me that I think I booked a client this morning from...
Tell us about that, because I think I picked this woman from the airport, picked her up from the airport, and she's like, I think I just booked a headshot session in the airport going down the escalator. I'm like, wait, what?
It was this morning at 7:00 in the morning. I'm at the airport, and I just commented the woman where I complimented her outfit because it was a really comfy looking, like well put together travel outfit. And I was like, I like anything if I can get away with wearing sweatpants in public, but it doesn't look like sweatpants. Like comfort over like fashion most days for me. And we just got to talking, and she just casually asked like what I did, because we were just chit chatting, and I just said, oh yeah, I'm a photographer. She's like, oh yeah, it reminds me, I need to do headshots. I'm like, funny enough, I'm like, I've got a headshot marathon coming up. Like you should come in. I'm like, here's my Instagram. She's like, really? I'm like, sure. I'm like, why not? Here's my stuff. And she messaged me before her flight left. So I got off the plane and I had a form filled out that she wants to book a headshot. I'm like, okay.
And that is how you do business. It doesn't matter where you are. Business can happen in the most unexpected places. So we confirmed that today.
I legitimately wasn't trying to. I was in a sweatshirt and yoga pants and just trying to get to my flight to come here. And it just, and I wasn't doing a sales pitch or anything. I just was like, okay, sure.
Yeah,
like,
the need was there. And
So,
but it took you how long to be that confident?
Oh, I think I'm a little crazy because I'll talk to a wall, but so that's never been the challenge. It took me within a couple months. I think the first few phone calls of where I would start quoting like what the experience was like and different stuff. Like I always had kind of like that throw up moment where you're like, I can say it, just say the words.
Yes,
and
say the numbers.
Yeah, and I would have to practice in the mirror. I would have like fake conversations in my head of like just getting used to the verbiage and like saying that over and over and over again. I'm a Post-it person. I did a Post-it on the mirror saying like, I am worth it. I deserve this. I'm worthy of this. And like the self-affirmations, I do them with my kids in the car where we in the morning saying, I'm beautiful, I'm smart, I'm kind, I'm intelligent, I'm brave.
Goes for everyone in the car.
Yep. We do it for the kids. I do it for myself. I'm like, so why not? And like, if I teach my kids these things, like, why can't I do it for me?
Yes.
And the clients just started doing that. And it's a whole culmination of things that come together. But the biggest thing is, I think, is just the confidence in saying, and it just takes that first one. You need somebody to book for it to be valid. Be like, yes, clients pay me this much.
Yes.
And then it's a fact after that. And you just keep saying it. And it's just getting now, I think in year 2 of the pricing model and the service model that I do of saying, book me or don't. It's not going to be a sweat off my back, and the right clients will come in when I need them to. And it's going to be that. And I'll keep my little hustle and like workload going and connecting with people and being involved in my local community. That's huge to me. And the ability to do that has been really good. And the reputation that comes with it has been really nice, where people know I'm real. Like I'm funny. Like I am straightforward. Like that's how I am. But people know me as me.
Right.
And that's been cool.
And I think that's part of your personal brand. Pricing is part of your personal brand, because there is a lot of photographers that are known for being cheap. And I am definitely, whenever somebody says, oh my God, you are so expensive, I'm like, well, I am definitely not known for being cheap, but I'm known for being very good with my pictures, having a very good, excellent customer service. So there is where it goes, right?
Do you know what I say to that? People say that, I'm like, yes, I am. And
oh my God, it is so cool to hear that, and I think that I'm gonna copy that, because I really don't have a response for that. That's my interior response, but I usually just switch the conversation and go towards something else. But I like that, because the very first time I met this photographer in Florida, I want you to introduce you to her, because that's how I found the group that we are in, and the first thing she said over the phone when I met her was, I know I am one of the most expensive photographers here in Florida, Boca Raton, right? And I'm like, I want to meet you. I so want to meet you. I want to know who you are. What do you do? Why are you so confident about charging so much? And then she's a pet photographer. So you think that pet photographers can't make that much money. But then you meet that person like this, she's so confident. She just posted in our group that she made a $50,000 sale. Yeah, and that's a goal. I said, you know what? If she could, and she said, I put it, I don't know if you saw her, Gabby is her name, pet photographer.
Yeah, I did.
Yes, and she said, I actually manifested this. I put a check, I wrote a check. This is my handwriting. I put my name, and I'm like, I'm doing that. I'm so doing that, because it's not all about the money, right? But you have to run a business, and as we said, we need to be worth it, to pay for what we do, right? What we love to do, and also service you, to make you feel good, to make you look good, and all that stuff, right?
Yeah, and it is those things, and I think that's where maybe we haven't elaborated in the business passive, where we say like all the extra that we do beyond, like it is more than just a photo shoot. Like we really create an experience for people.
Yes, and I want to go to that, but we're gonna make a quick pause right here. We are so back here at the Jaimie's Business Master Society podcast. I'm having so much fun talking to Jaimie. She's coming all the way from Seattle. She's a photographer, a luxury photographer for maternity, for a newborn. She does headshots and pets, so she's an artist, definitely. But we were talking about how to price ourselves as photographers, as entrepreneurs, how to find our worth, right, when it comes to business. So we were just saying about the phone call, right? The way somebody says, "Oh, you are too expensive," and you had a
That's the nice
great
way
response.
of saying it. I've gotten worse, but that's the nicest
Okay,
way.
tell me what's the worst.
Oh, they just yell at me. Oh my God, that's so outrageous. And I'm like, well, I provide a full service experience that I'm really confident in what I offer. So yeah, I am that expensive. I think the response is when someone says, "You're so expensive." Like, yeah, I am. And just kind of sit for a second if you need to. Usually they'll respond with something, or you just go like, I know the experience that I offer and like what I provide and the quality of what I provide. So I stand behind that. And that's it. You don't owe them an explanation for why you're charging what you charge. People charge the stuff. Like, there is investment in that. And again, you and I have also heavily invested in ourselves,
Yes.
as well as our development and all those things. So yes, when we were first starting out, like, no, we did not do everything that we did. One, we didn't know better. And there was a learning curve in that and standing behind that. But now it's gotten to a point of business where I know the quality of the work that I provide. I know the quality of the products that I provide beyond just, I only want the digitals. I'm like, that's nice. Let's talk other stuff too. Mm-hmm. And standing behind that and doing all those things as well as the overall experience. And I kind of joke that my sessions are kind of almost like mini therapy sessions where you're going to come to me with a problem. I'm going to fix it. Or the client I just worked with the other day, they booked me because they said, I'm not photogenic, which if I had $1 for every time a client says that to me, oof, it's not true, but we're awkward in photos and we don't know how to pose. And like, it just is always so uncomfortable. So we haven't done pictures. We did engagement pictures, or maybe they did wedding photos, but they're like, I just don't do photography because I'm so awkward of a person. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I got you. And I think that's also another one you hear too, or I think all of us here universally, of like, I don't know how to pose myself. Like, unless you're a professional model, why would you?
Yeah, what would you?
That's literally my job to teach you these things. So I got you. It's fine. But I think it's that ability to create that trust with the client.
All right, so we had a little mandatory pause, but we're going back at it. So we were saying with Jaimie.
We were talking through the client. Okay, so the clients are coming to us because they have a problem and we're here to fix it. So that's where the ability of being a full service photographer, or if you want to call it luxury photographer, I call myself a full service, is they have something that they need help with and we're here to fix it. And so that's where like the in-depth planning comes in, of being, I'm going to have a consultation with you. Like, we're actually going to talk through, because a lot of times the problem that they think they have is not actually the problem. And it goes beyond that. And sometimes it's some of the business stuff of like, if you're doing branding shots, it's like, okay, I just need a headshot. It's like, well, no, you're actually launching a brand new business. Like, you need branding pictures. Like, are you showcasing your work here? Like, how do you want to be conveyed? And the biggest question I ask with any client across any genre is like, what energy do you want in this photo? Like, what are you trying to convey? And a lot in headshots, because they want the trust. They want to be able to build that rapport with like their own clientele. And getting into that, but you have to have the bandwidth and the time to do that, which time is money. Mm-hmm. So building that, our expertise in what we do and how we need to pose them, how to do this, how to highlight, how to subtract, building the confidence and bringing that energy out of them and investing in them. So there's that piece of it. And then all the expertise that we bring and the knowledge and the artistry that we have. And it's even just like the little things of like, I know how to light. They're like, nobody likes a double chin. No one wants a double chin.
No, that was one of the biggest concerns of people. Is like, just teach me how to do this, right?
Yeah. Nobody wants a double chin. So how do we pose for that? How do we light for that? Like, all those little tips and tricks that we know, or you and I were just laughing on flying, like, what do I do with my hands? Jazz hands. Always.
Yes, and that's what another one is like. What I don't want my double chin, or I don't know what to do with my hands. I don't know how to stand, so yeah. It's very important things.
Yeah. So it's those things. It's getting the confidence to come out. It's getting that moment where things click for them, that they relax and become comfortable and have fun. And I do always love it. And I'm going to call out guys on this one. It's almost always guys. We're like, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. You're like,
Yes.
did
Oh
it,
my
got my job
God.
right. Or we do a picture, they're like, oh wow, it's actually really good. It's like, oh, it's like I do this for a professional for a living, you know. It's fine. Yeah, so it's doing all of those things, and then for like the other side of it is I like the product side. I like helping my clients with that, and I run so much of my business of how I wish things had been done for me, or if I was the client, I just need somebody to handle my stuff for me. Like I need to go from A to Z, start to finish, everything handled where I just get to show up and take beautiful pictures, and I'm good. And that's why the clients that choose to work with me are picking me for those reasons, where I'm just like, come up, I got you. Like, I know the stage of life you're at. I know what you're going through, and the relatability where it's like, I can problem solve this for you. Like, you don't have to think on this. I got it covered.
Yeah, this is what I do.
Yeah. All of it. And so we handle it.
Yes, and it's full service. That's very important. Like, some people are not able to see the value behind of all these things, right? Because maybe they never taken family photos, right?
Yeah.
They never taken maternity photos. They don't know how hard it is sometimes to prepare with a newborn, right? So, but here you are. It's like, okay, your only homework is to sleep through the night if you can, hydrate and come to the studio. That's all you have to do. I will handle the rest. In my case, I do more branding and headshots and stuff like that. So it looks a little bit different, where we have to put together, like in my case, it's more like, I don't know what to wear. What am I going to wear? I literally will sit down and put together links to our shops with their sizes and times of availability. So I know it's going to be here on time if we need to order from that store. So it's so many things. And I've been like, I go even more than that, the extra mile, right? Where I'm like, okay, you forgot your pants. Where do you leave? Let me go get it. Or I send my assistant, you know. Yeah. So we've done things like that.
My studio is in my house, so the number of times I've gone into my own closet for people is getting embarrassing at this point. I mean, I don't know if I should be flattered or offended that my jeans fit maternity clients, but it's those things. Or my blazers. Someone actually booked me because of a blazer they saw in my own headshot, and she's like, "I love that blazer. Can I wear it?" I'm like, sure. Like, if that's going to make you feel confident, sure, you can wear my blazer.
And that is exactly why I started a client's closet for corporate, because a lot of people were like, oh, I want what you are wearing in this picture. And I'm like, okay, but that's mine, you know, like, but then I'm like, you know, it just makes sense. I live 5 minutes away from my studio, so maybe not in my studio, but same thing, you know. I'm like, okay, I'll just go get it for you, you know. So,
but it was even I've built relationships with local boutiques in my area, and like one in particular that I love working with, and they dress me for a lot of my stuff, and the blazers that people like to borrow from me are theirs. But I will send my clients to them, and like having that relationship and that network and that community built up where they might not have the time for that. It's like, great, I got you covered. Go here. Or I will show up to their homes and I will actually go into people's closets, whether it's the professional stuff or if it's on the family side. Because those are huge stress points always of like, what do I wear? What looks good? Another component they won't think about is the color side of it and whether that's going to come across on our cameras. Because there is some fabrics that my camera just hates and it doesn't look good. Or they won't think about silhouettes in the same way that we will, just because we have the eye for it, and that's going into that. But taking that stress point off of them of what to wear is usually a biggest one. And it's so easy, and I'm brutally honest. We're like, that looks terrible on you. Don't wear that. And they're like, I can't believe you would say that. I'm like, you're paying me to make you look good. Like,
that is not making you look good.
Like, don't wear that. That's not flattering. Like, this is better for you, or this is washing you out, different stuff. And I mean, I nerd out on color psychology and knowing what that means. And so when people are doing a headshot and putting that foot forward, and what are you trying to get, that energy you're trying to convey? Like, is this the right color? Is this an angry color? Or like, what does your brand do? I ask even during my headshot days, I'm like, what are your branding colors? And that's my responsibility then to build the shot list around that and making sure that that works and something that's going to grow with them. Or if they're just starting out their business, like, I don't know yet. I'm like, okay. Yes. We'll work with that.
Yes. And that's why we do the consultations, the pre-shoot consultations. And that is part of what luxury experience looks like. So you're definitely paying a higher ticket, but there's also a lot of things that come with it that are more, they're complementing, and they're like, okay, well, that makes sense then, you know?
Well, I think it's the nice part is it's someone else is thinking about details that you maybe wouldn't necessarily, and going through that. And like when people say luxury brands or luxury service, I think it's just an understanding that you're being taken care of, And then there's just more thought and attentiveness to it. So you don't have to label yourself a luxury photographer or a luxury brand, but it just is more like, are you thinking in that mentality in how you choose to run the business and how you choose to execute the business and work with clients? So there's that piece of it.
That's beautiful. I love this. And, it kind of, I love whenever I talk to people like Jaimie, because we understand the level of service that we provide to every single one of our clients, right? And once we understand that, we're able to share it with everyone else, right? And it's easier to, I don't want to use the word sell, because it's not, we're really not selling. It's like, I'm just servicing, like helping you, right? I'm really helping you in something you need help with. So there's a better word for that. Help me out.
I'm stuck on this one.
Right now,
we're taking the stress points off.
Correct.
And
yes.
The other piece of that too is, I know with pictures, especially, like there's so much emotions attached to it, as well as the experience. Like I look back at my wedding photos and I'm still mad at my wedding photographer, especially now that I know what I know. But that's to the point of like, that's the memory I have. And like a picture takes you back into that instant. It's not that it transports you in time, but it transports you to that moment. Were you stressed out in that moment? Were you like sweating because you're like, oh my God, I don't know if this like jacket fits me totally, or like, oh, my stomach's sticking out, or like I was really mad about this, or I was like stuck up on this point. Or if with pictures with our family, like it was this crazy photographer telling me to like throw my kid in the air, or my kid was crying, or like, my own family photos. We had it was a meltdown after meltdown with my kids, but you wouldn't know that looking at the pictures. The pictures are this like one big happy moment, but we always remember that. And so in the experience and the environment that we create, they're feeling good about themselves. And you can look back at the picture and it's not that we're selling anything. It's just you've created the experience. And so that is what is being sold and like what they're buying into and what they're loving, because they're like, I felt confident there. I want that. I want that around. I felt strong. I felt powerful. I felt brave. Those are the pictures I want.
The feeling it creates, not only the way it looks.
Yep. And the second that you look back at that picture, you can feel it again of like, tell me about a time or a moment when you felt good about yourself. And sometimes there's a picture. People will pull back pictures of like, oh, back when my 20s, like it was this, I felt like this. And so you're able to pull on some of those things and build that for that person. And so that's what it's going to look back at. And I think we buy into that too when we're looking at the businesses and their pictures and saying, what are these pictures showing me? Like, why do you have a picture? Like, why do you look like you have a mugshot? Like, this doesn't make me want to buy into the business and trust you. Or, therapist headshots so often.
Yes.
Like, yeah, psychologists, I'm calling you guys out. You need them to trust you. Like, you want a photo that says, yes, I want to go have a cup of coffee with you. Or like, she looks like fun. Or like, that woman, like this, I want to look like that. Like, come on.
Yeah, that invites you.
Yeah.
That invites you into the business. That invites you to look more or invest on you. At the end
like
of the day.
You can't, I'm sorry, like, especially with branding stuff, like, you have to have a good headshot. Do not settle for, it's good enough, it'll work. Like, we're not in COVID. You don't have to take selfies in your bathroom anymore.
Or those little, I've seen this headshots with a little, how's it called, that Snapchat, the Snapchat filter. That was the worst. I'm not gonna call out anyone, but I saw a headshot and one of them had like little ears and the other one had like a very heavy filter.
Oh, no.
And I'm all with you. It's definitely something.
It's an authenticity to it, and you don't have to fabricate the moment.
Yes.
But we want the emotion that you were feeling in that to be a real thing, and that is what comes across in the picture. And they've done all the psychology studies of it, of like what people gravitate towards too, or they will put up pictures and like profiling and all the stuff that they do.
It is
like,
very
your
important.
Photo matters. Your photo matters.
We're gonna start a hashtag. Your photo matters.
Yes,
because it does. It does. It can either sell you or kill you. I mean, it's one or the other.
My hashtag for people is you deserve to be art, and like that's what I stand by. Of like their pictures, it should be art to you. Like you should love it at that level.
Yes.
And what that does, and especially with like the maternity photos of what I do, where those are very hard points of life, like big emotions, big feelings, a lot of changes. I want them to see themselves as a piece of art and to have that self-love and confidence in what they're doing. And same thing with headshots too, because I get all the insecurities that come out in the pictures, and you get kind of like, you see the physical change of like the insecurity of like, okay, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm like, this is going to be the best day ever. Are you ready? Let's go.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Definitely, Jaimie is somebody that understands the business very, very well, and it's always a pleasure to talk to you about everything, but especially business because you put it in such a beautiful perspective that is very easy to understand to all of us. So I really appreciate your time and your trip. I know it's a very short trip, but you still made the time to be here with us
of course. I
for
loved
the
it.
podcast. So I really appreciate you. How can people find you?
I'm just on my website, JaimieBirtelPhotography.com. It's the same thing for my Instagram. It's really fun. But
And go see her work. Go see her work. And I want to open the doors of my studio and really have like a marathon for you and your beautiful art because I mean, I have 2 grandbabies and I am not a newborn photographer, but whenever I think about newborn photography, her art is what I always want. So I want to invite you officially to come one day. Really, we'll plan a marathon for a newborn marathon or something like that. We'll plan something because it's beautiful. Maybe her maternity photos are beautiful
Only
too.
if you get me a photo like this one.
Yeah.
I want to look like this.
Let's do it. So I want to say thank you again for being here. I want to remind you guys about the campaign. There's only a few more months. We've been getting a lot of applications and we are already taking the photos for this and all have been amazing. I am so looking forward to get to meet other people, new people, maybe to my little world, happy little world where I live on. So thank you so much, Jaimie. We'll see you guys in the next episode of the She Means Business Master Society podcast.
Thank you for listening the She Means Business Master Society podcast. We will see you in the next episode.